is Qui Alexander. I use they, them, and he, him pronouns, and I'm a doctoral student in education at the University of Minnesota. I'm interested in pedagogical practices, and my research is about abolition and abolitionist pedagogies. More specifically, I'm really interested in how community organizers are teaching the ideas of abolition to their community members and practicing them rather than solely thinking about abolition in the context of schools. I personally don't always think that schools are liberatory places. So I'm really interested in seeing how the praxis of abolition shows up in community-based settings. Always super excited to learn about people's experiences from different parts of the country. As someone who haven't spent tons of time in Minnesota, I moved here for graduate school. So I really just learned so much that different communities and different regions have a lot of different considerations for the work that they do. So I'm really excited to hear about people who are doing similar types of work but in different locations to see how that resonates in their communities. I'm also just really excited to get a group of, mostly Black scholars to kind of talk about the issues that are happening both within the academy and in our communities. That's really exciting to me to see the way that people bridge their scholarship and their activism. I think personally, it's an opportunity to articulate some of the work that I've done that has been kind of behind the scenes. So a lot of the work that I do is about relationship building, it's about mutual aid, um, and personal healing and transformation so that people can better show up to the movement work that they participate in. And so that's not always visible. So I'm really looking forward to highlighting that in the teaching and highlighting the ways that the community in Minneapolis has already started to live out the reality of living in a world that is free of police violence. I've been reflecting a lot recently about Angela Davis and her trajectory. And there's a picture of her when she was younger giving a speech in Madison Square Garden around bulletproof glass surrounding her. And I have just been thinking about with the uprisings, like how scary that must have been, how real a threat was for her, as someone who was formerly incarcerated, defending herself and things like that, and that she's still alive and doing the work and still as hopeful as ever. And that's really given me a lot of inspiration to think about the trajectory for the fight for justice is long. And I always want to dream of being able to see liberation in my lifetime, and also understanding that even if I don't get to see it in my lifetime, the work was worth it for my siblings, my comrades, my children, like future folks in the world. So I think we have a lot of work to do. I think I've been really, really inspired specifically by Minneapolis and the ways that people have leaned into something that they weren't too sure about. Having community safety, providing food and shelter for folks. And we're still fighting a lot of those issues today. But the community has really, really shown up in ways that I think that people don't always realize. So I have hope that will bring about some meaningful change, and knowing that I think people are waiting for this big moment to happen, and I'm not sure that it'll be this huge moment, but I do know that small changes over time, repeated, lead to big change. And so I'm really hopeful in seeing the ways that individuals and communities and local settings can kind of do those small steps to lead to a bigger wave. Just like gratitude to all the folks that are putting this on, and the community members that will participate in the teach-in. I'm so grateful to be learning alongside with and from lots of folks from all over the country doing this great work.